Alright, we had another Warhammer game. I'm taking my Bretonnians versus a unit of Warriors of Chaos. Starting on my left, he's got a unit of Marauders on horseback, and they have the mark of Khorne, so they're going to have 15 Strength 5 attacks the first round of combat. So that's not a bad fast cav unit there. He's got 40 Marauders on foot, again with the mark of Khorne, and he's got a Battle Standard Bearer with them. 18 Chosen with a level 2 Sorcerer of Nurgle, Hell Cannon, 24 Chaos Warriors. Let's see, the Chosen have the mark of Nurgle, so they're a little bit harder to kill, and these Warriors on the right have the mark of Khorne, and so they're frenzied just like the Marauders on horseback, just like the Marauders on the left. Just a ton of attacks. And he's got a level 4 Sorcerer on the disc behind him. And that's it. And so my initial thought when I saw this was, where are your troops? This is crazy. But at the same time, I don't want to go into any of those things. Tell you, anything I charge in there with is going to die the first round of combat, and if it doesn't die the first round, it's going to die the second round. So, really interesting dilemma. I really, the whole game long, wasn't sure the best way to go about it. So, my strategy, what I attempted, will unfold over the first couple turns. But basically, here on my left, got 3 Pegasus Knights, 5 Knights Errant, 1 Trebuchet. There's 20 20 archers with defensive stakes, then another Trebuchet, which is that custom model there at the bottom. I've got, I believe, 40-ish, I think 38 men-at-arms. I've got 6 Knights of the Realm, bunch of Questy Knights with a level 4 Damsel with them, 9 Knights Errant with the Errantry Banner, then 2 more units of Knights of the Realm. My Battle Standard Bearer, I'm not sure you could see, as well as my level 2 Damsel on foot. They were both by that building, and you really just couldn't see them well in the picture, but you'll see them. So then we have our Vanguard movement, so I win the roll for that. So I take my Pegasus Knights up where you see him. He moves his Marauders up just a little bit. He can't charge me first turn if he chooses to go first. So, and he does choose to go first. So he moves his guys up, and he puts his Marauders up to where either I have to charge him, or he's going to charge something that I really would rather him not. Because if he doesn't charge these 2 units, he's going to charge a Trebuchet in the hill, and more importantly, be able to angle it, so he's going to swoop down my flank. In hindsight, I really should have set those Knights on the hill up so that they could possibly assist in that charge. Obviously, I didn't think he was going to do that, though. So my opponent played a really clever 1-2 punch in his magic phase. He would have his, I believe it was the Nurgle Sorcerer, cast the Doom and Darkness spell. And if I make errors in terms of who's casting what, forgive me. But basically, the spell that lowers your leadership by 3. And then at the end of his magic phase, his level 4 would cast Gateway, or if he didn't, during his shooting phase, his Hell Cannon would target that unit, and even if he doesn't kill anybody, he's going to force a leadership test on -1. So he did that here. He started off with decreasing their leadership by 3. I tried to dispel it, wasn't able to. He cast some kind of damage spell. It could have been Gateway. I know he cast it all game long, and for the most part, it didn't do a whole lot of damage. Then during shooting, he killed 1. So they're at leadership 8. Oh, they weren't 6. There were 5 of them with my Battle Standard Bearer. I'm sorry, I got confused there. So anyway, but they're at leadership 8 -4. So I had to pass a leadership 4 or risk running off the board with my Battle Standard Bearer. I was none too happy about that, but miraculously I was able to pass it. So we go to bet turn 1. So what I'm thinking is, I need to pick on 1 unit at a time, whittle it down through shooting to where it only has a couple ranks, hit it in the flank with something, and beat it through combat res. And that's the only way it's going to work. If I go into the front of something, I'm going to get chopped to bits. So my thinking was, let's start with the Chaos Warriors, because that's where all my Knights are. Whittle them down, slow down everybody else. If I get past the Warriors, then go on to the Chosen, whittle them down, hit them in the flank. And I'm not going to have time to get to the big, huge unit of Marauders, so I'm really just going to try to slow them down a little bit. So that was my strategy there. So charge Pegasus Knights into these guys. I went in thinking, knowing that I'm initiative 4, I assumed he was initiative 3. So I've got 10 high strength attacks. I figure I'll kill, let's say, 4 of these guys, and that'll save a few attacks back. but I was mistaken. They're actually initiative 4, and so even though I'm still going to kill a few, he's going to get 15 strength 5 attacks on my guys. And I thought I was toast as soon as he told me that. Otherwise, I move up, as you can see. These guys, I hate that there's that swamp in that river, but I've got to encircle him so that no matter how he turns, somebody can get his flank, and that's the only hope I can really think of. Another thing I'm tempted to do, if the opportunity presents itself, is to take those 2 big buses of knights into his front. Know he's going to chop me up, but I'll have my level 4 sorcerers with a Lore of Life able to heal my guys. So that's another option, but even then I don't want to do that if I don't have to. So I did use that spell, and I was able to resurrect one of my Knights of the Realm. I took my level 2 damsel on foot, put her back in that unit. I should have started the game with her there, but I just wasn't thinking about it. But she's got a magic item which gives them the same ward as the Knights, but she had to go to the unit so she could activate it to give them the ward save. So I put her in the unit, and then I'm going to take her back out on my next turn. So my archers could see this sorcerer, so shot at him and did 1 wound. He's got a 3-up ward against shooting, and so he's going to keep out of range, and even then with my trebuchets, it's tough. It's an easily wasted shot if I choose to target him because of that ward. But he's down 1 wound already thanks to my archers. Launch a trebuchet at these guys. 1 scatters off, the other one kills 3 of them, and that is not what I need from my shooting. I need to get those guys whittled down. So over here, amazingly, out of 15 attacks, he only does 2 wounds of my knights, which is just, I got freakishly lucky. I don't remember how many I killed, but it was enough that with combat res, I broke them, ran them off the board, and huge, not a huge point sink for him, but at least a huge threat to me off the table. So Warrior's turn 2, he sees where my knights are, and he goes for angling towards me rather than just marching up as fast as he can, which I think is smart. So here's the 1-2 punch. So magic is killing people. Hell Cannon kills 3 Knights Errant, and amazingly, and again because my BSB is nearby, I passed my panic test. So, and my general was nearby too. So they ended up being leadership 7 with a reroll, so they were okay. But turn 2, you see me, I'm trying to work around the corners. I'm not in a hurry to get into combat. I just need to know that when I do get into combat, I have a chance of winning it. I take the Knights Errant in the middle just to slow down his chosen. I kind of hope he charges me and I'll flee, and I just need to slow those guys down before they angle towards my knights. And I like my big block of men-at-arms there in the middle to tie something up, and they're going to get slaughtered, but it's going to take a lot to kill those guys, and they should be stubborn. There on the left, I charge my Knights Errant into the flank of that unit, not expecting to win, but I need to hold them up. I need to slow his units down here on this side. And again, the problem is I'm only initiative 3, he's 4, so anybody he kills of mine does not get to go back to him. And then you see I flew my Pegasus Knights behind him to do the same thing again on my next turn. So here we go, 2 trebuchets landed on that unit, dropped him. That's where I need those warriors. So now I really don't want to hit him in the front, but I will if that's all I can do, as long as I do it with those big buses. Ideally, I'm going to hit him in the flank with something. So that unit's where I need him to be, and now on my next turn I can focus my shooting elsewhere. Very, very, very happy about that. And these guys, he killed 2 of my guys. It doesn't really surprise me. I did 0 wounds back, but he was forced to pursue me. I got away, and it worked for now. It got them to where that slowed him down from coming towards the middle of the board.